Welcome to our full council meeting. Am I on? I am on, all right. Okay, members, I hope you can hear me. We're gonna start this meeting now, please. Okay, can I ask Stephen to call the roll call, please?
Okay, members, you're hereby summoned to attend the monthly meeting of the Derry City and Strabane District Council to be held in the Council Chamber, Guildhall, Derry, Wednesday, the 26th of June. We could take the roll call. Alderman Cook.
Here.
Alderman Guy. Alderman Hussey. Alderman Kerrigan.
He's at another meeting. He will be with us.
Okay, thank you. Alderman McMorris.
Here.
Alderman Middleton.
Julie is planning to come to the meeting at some stage. She's just going to be late.
Okay. Alderman Wilkinson. Councillor Jason Barr.
Apologies for Councillor or Alderman Wilkinson. Sorry.
Councillor Jason Barr. Okay. Councillor Lillian Barr. Councillor Raymond Barr. Councillor Boggs.
Shaw Stephen.
Councillor Boyle. Councillor Clark.
Shaw.
Councillor Cusack.
Here.
Councillor Deeney.
And Shaw.
Councillor Devine. Councillor Donnelly.
Shaw.
Councillor Duffy. Alex
Shaw.
Duffy. Councillor Sandra Duffy.
It's going to be a wee bit late, just.
Councillor Farrell.
Here.
Councillor Fleming.
And Shaw.
Councillor Gallagher. Councillor Harkin. Councillor Hart.
And Shaw. And Councillor Devine's running late.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Heaney.
Shaw.
Councillor Hutton.
And Shaw.
Councillor Jackson.
Shaw.
Councillor Leonard.
And Shaw.
Councillor Logue.
She's at a doctor's appointment. She'll be on soon.
Thank you. Councillor McDade. Councillor McGinley.
Shaw.
Councillor McHugh.
Shaw.
Councillor Mooney. Councillor Murphy. Councillor Norris. Councillor O'Farrell. Councillor Riley. Councillor Tierney. And Councillor O'Neillis.
Apologies.
Thank you, members.
Okay, the next agenda item is broadcasting statement. I would like to remind everyone present that this meeting will be broadcast live to the internet and will be capable of repeating viewing. This broadcast may be terminated or suspended in accordance with our protocols. If you are seated in the lower public seating or media areas, it is possible that the recording cameras will capture your image, and this will result in the possibility that your image will become part of the broadcast. By entering the council chamber and using the press or lower public seating area, you are consenting to being filmed and consenting to the use and storage of those images for broadcasting or training purposes and for the purpose of keeping historical records and making those records available to the public. If you wish to avoid this, you should move to the upper public gallery. A copy of the council privacy notice may be found on the council website. Okay, agenda item 4 is declaration of members' interest. Okay. We'll move on to.
Mayor, can I declare an interest on item 12E, HC 146/24 Advice Services as a member of Craig Community Collective? Thank you.
Any other declaration? Okay, Councillor Norris.
Just, you're right. Just in regards to I'm a member of Advice Northwest.
Mayor, sorry, Dove House.
Okay. Any other declaration?
So those are declaring it, Mayor. I'll declare Dove House as well.
Resource Centre and Advice Northwest.
Any others? Councillor McDade.
Resource Centre.
Did you get that?
Resource Centre.
Councillor Clark?
Resource Centre.
Resource Centre. Sorry. You're okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on now to chairperson's business. I have a couple of people who contacted me and I also have one. So I will start with, first of all, to congratulate one of our colleagues, Alderman Julie Middleton, for welcoming a new baby girl, Aliana. And I just want to wish them all the best of luck. I know they will have very many long nights, but they will enjoy it. So I'm really congratulations. And we also have a new granddad in the house, Councillor Norris. So congratulations for becoming a granddad. And obviously, we know that you're going to have long nights, but enjoy as much as you can. The next chairperson's business, I will take it the way I received them. And the first person to contact me was Councillor Leonard. Leonard?
Vera, thank you, Mira. I would like to bring to the attention of members a concern about how small farmers and rural communities in our council area could be negatively impacted if DERA persists with her plans to increase the minimum farm claim size from the current 3 hectares to 5 hectares. The background to this is that DERA is proposing to increase the minimum claim size for the new farm sustainability payment, as I say, from the current 3 hectares to 5. This is very bad news for small farmers in our area and across the north. They would not be eligible for the new payment, and this new payment is a successor to the vital single farm payment. It will put many out of business, and this is on top of many other daily challenges that farmers face, such as fuel costs, climate change and succession planning, just to name a few. As I say, if the department proceeds with this, it'll be devastating for these small farmers, their families, the local economy and rural way of life, including the future of local schools, sports clubs and local services. I'm aware that Minister Muir is meeting with the Agriculture, Environment and Rural Affairs Committee early in July. And I would propose that this council writes the Minister and states that, would it be possible to put that on the board, please? Thank you. As I say, propose that we write to the Minister to state that this council strongly resists the proposal to increase the minimum claim size from 3 hectares to 5 hectares for the new farm sustainability payment. The proposed increase in this threshold will have a devastating impact on rural communities in our council area. We'd request that DERA do not change the 3 hectare farm size threshold, which is also in line with the rest of Ireland and the EU. Thank you, Mayor.
You have a seconder for your motion? All right. Councillor Boggs. Members, is there anyone else who would like to contribute? If not, if you're all happy for that to go ahead? Yeah, so we'll take it as passed. Okay, so the next person who contacted me was Councillor Donnelly.
Chair, I want to bring up a tremendous success by a young Craigan man called Colin McBurty, who at the weekend won the ISCA welterweight K1 Irish title fight. He fights out of a club in Craigan called the Rathmore Warriors, and this young man is now an AKC Irish K1 champion, WKU Irish K1 champion. He's 2 times All-Ireland champion. He's a semi-professional British K1 champion, and he was 3rd in European Championship. And I want to pay tribute to him and Rathmore Warriors, because Rathmore Warriors is a club that is undervalued by unless you're part of that community and know. But the work that it does is that there's dozens and dozens of young children, boys and girls, and more mature people of my age and more and older, who operate out of this gym. The work done there is absolutely amazing. It improves people's fitness, their health, both physical and mentally, and it installs discipline in those who train there, making a transformation in many people's lives. Young Conal is seen to many young people in the community and older people as a young role model. And I just want to take this, and it's not only in the Craigan community but beyond, and I want to take this opportunity to highlight his tremendous success and the commitment he has to the support. There has been some frustrations within that particular sport with procedures in council regarding sports personality awards, and there's a perception that there can be hurdles or blockages. And in my personal opinion, that, you know, as a new member of the district sports committee, it's one issue that I will be addressing with Barry and the relevant officers. But I want to take this opportunity to, you know, and ask if you would, this council would send congratulations both to Conal and to Rathmore Warriors. Thanks, Chair.
No problem, that will be done. Councillor McGinley, please.
Mayor, and thank you to Councillor Donnelly for bringing this forward. Conal will be a good friend of mine, good friends with his family and his mummy and that, and he'll be delighted to receive congratulations. I know when Patricia was the mayor, she had Conal in for a mayor's reception when he won the 4th title. So it's amazing that he's won the 5th, and as Councillor Donnelly referred to, the work of Rathmore Warriors is second to none. I know that Fela had done a piece of work with them previously in promoting their work as well. So, you know, they should be congratulated on the achievement. So completely agree with what Councillor Donnelly said. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. That will be done. Thank you very much. Oh,
Thank you, Mayor. And just briefly, again, just to be associated with the remarks made by Councillor Donnelly and the Councillor McGinley on behalf of the SDLP, we also would like to pass on our congratulations to Conal and wish him and all of his colleagues in the Rathmore Warriors further future success going forward. And of course, if there is anything that we can be of assistance with, of course, we stand ready to do so. So again, thank you to Councillor Donnelly for raising the matter. I think it's important we always recognise sporting success and other successes in our city. And on this occasion, again, it's a delight to see that somebody's progressing so well in their chosen field. So again, congratulations to Conal.
thank you. Okay, the next person who contacted me is Councillor McDade.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to put on record our absolute disgust at the horrendous attack on Natasha O'Brien and the, in my opinion, pathetically lenient suspended sentence handed out to Cathal Crowley. This is just the most recent example of violence against women in our society. And every time we hear these sorts of attacks, we say it's terrible and we call it out, but we need something to be done. It's a disgrace that we're still waiting for the NI executive to publish the strategy again for violence against women and girls. And I'm calling on all executive parties to work together and get it published immediately. I'd also like to put a call on to the Minister for Justice to use whatever influence she might have to push for her equivalent in the South to examine this lenient sentence given to the man simply because it would impact his military career. I wonder what impact this vicious attack might have had on Natasha's career, but also her confidence, her ability to go out and enjoy socialising with her friends, and her general mental health and well-being. Despite the inevitably negative impact that this will have had on her, Natasha has shown great bravery by standing up and telling her story. So I just want to send love, strength and solidarity to Natasha and to all others who are experiencing such violence. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, Councillor Harkin.
Thank you, Mayor, for letting me in. And I want to just associate myself with Councillor McDade's remarks. And I want to commend Natasha O'Brien for her resilience and for her willingness to be outspoken. And I also want to commend the thousands of people who took the streets in solidarity with Natasha. And I think that, you know, we have discussed domestic violence and violence against women often in this chamber, perhaps not enough. But I think once again, we are seeing what women face across this island on a daily basis, and that there needs to be urgent action taken. And one thing I want to just point out is that there's been people who have tried to argue that migrants coming to this country are attacking women, and they've been exploiting people's fears, and they've been very, very silent on this issue. And I think that that tells us a lot about exactly what their actual agenda is, that they didn't join the protests, they didn't speak out in defence of Natasha O'Brien, when thousands and hundreds of thousands of people have been doing. So thank you to Councillor McDade for raising this today.
Councillor Dini?
Good Mayor. So it's just to put on record our solidarity for this case and to all women. Too many women are facing these attacks, and we need to work together to publish a strategy and work towards a full implementation. We know no matter where women are at the minute, they face this prejudice and attack. So Councillor McDade for bringing this forward.
Okay, Alderman Norris.
Thank you, Mayor. And just to put our on our record too, we associate ourselves with what everybody says. We all know too often about how women are subjected to abuse and violence on a regular basis. So we also endorse and put our support behind this. Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Councillor Harkin.
Thank you, Mayor, for letting me in on this. But before I do that, I don't think I have the opportunity to formally welcome you into your role as the Mayor. We didn't get the opportunity on the night where you took on the chain. But on behalf of myself and People Before Profit, we wish you all the best in your year of mayorship. And we, like many other people, think that you'll do a fantastic job to represent the council and to represent the city. To represent the entire district. So all the best, Mayor, in your role. Look, I was alarmed myself yesterday when I opened up the Belfast Telegraph to read an article by Gareth Hargan documenting that there is more than 1 million tonnes of raw sewage getting dumped into the River Foyle on an annual basis between the two bridges, between the Foyle Bridge and between the Craigavon Bridge. And I think that this is absolutely shocking, and it's unfortunate that this has been publicised on the eve of the Maritime Festival, which I know a lot of people are looking forward to. So I do think that this warrants a discussion today, at least an acknowledgement that this is, that this is a threat to obviously the ecosystem of the river, but also to the health of the residents of our district and beyond. And there's a number of things about it. One, look, I followed Fergal Sharkey's depictions about what's happening across the water with the privatisation of water companies and how the private companies have essentially just pumped raw sewage into rivers, lakes and coastal waters, hundreds of millions of tonnes of raw sewage that is damaging the rivers, damaging the waterways and damaging coastal life. And I was foolishly believing that because of our arrangement here of not having a fully privatised water oversight body, that we were doing better. And I think that this is now, I am very worried now, as I'm sure everybody else is, about the state of our water. So look, I've already written to the CEO of NI Water, I've written to asking for a meeting with the Minister, I've written to DFI Rivers, asking for clarification and asking for meetings. But I think we as a council should invite in, and I did send a motion, that a proposal to put forward, that I think we should have urgent meetings with the Minister or a representative from the DFI and from NI Water to discuss their assessment of this report. Because one of the things that was lacking in previous reports about water here in the waterways in the north was any detail about sewage, raw sewage in Derry in the northwest. And now we're beginning to get a glimpse of what this potentially, possibly looks like, and it's not good. So I think that I want to propose that we have contact the DFI and NI Water for meetings to discuss their assessment of this, to get clarification from them on their understanding of the degree and scale of raw sewage that's being released and what their action plan is. And we know that there's all sorts of funding issues But this has been a long-term failure on behalf of the Stormont Executive to address our sewage system and our infrastructure. And we can't tolerate 1 million tonnes of raw sewage or more, 1.2 million tonnes of raw sewage being released in such a small area on an annual basis. And we are seeking as a council to try and bring the river back to life, to get more people using the river, and to see the river as a positive contributor to Derry and to the district. This is not going to enhance that. This is going to damage that attempt. So I do think that we have to put, this is a red alert in many ways. It's part of our climate action commitment and pledge to do something about this. And I hope members will support this today, that we immediately call on, for some explanation and an action plan from those with responsibility. Thank you, Mayor.
Do you have a seconder? Okay, Councillor Donnelly. Now I have a couple of people who have indicated to speak. So we'll start with Councillor Jackson.
Mayor, and I suppose again they formally welcome me onto the role and wish you best for the year ahead. On behalf of the group in here and the Sinn Féin group within council, I suppose in relation to the proposal, we're fully supportive of it. It does come as a bit of a shock to us that this is a surprise to Councillor Harkin. We have had the Chief Executive of NI Water in this chamber. She does regular deputations to the committee, and at the last deputation that she done to the committee, we raised this very issue directly with NI Water, and NI Water had conceded that it wasn't quantified at that time, but they conceded that there was raw sewage coming into our rivers, and particularly in the city and district at an unacceptable level. And we raised our concerns then, and since then, we have been engaging. We've been strongly lobbying for increased investment in infrastructure, particularly sewage infrastructure, in this part of the world. So, and I know our MLA assembly teams are continuing to lobby for increased investment in our infrastructure and ways that we can support NI Water to deliver for the city and district. So, if there's anything further that we can do, if a deputation, the committee, or if there's any communication from council that we can do that might speed up that process, absolutely. But my only concern is this, and I could be skeptical or cynical that this alarm is being raised a week out from an election. But I can assure Councillor Harkin that we addressed this with NI Water the last time they were here in this chamber, raised those questions, and if I'm not mistaken, Councillor Harkin was sitting exactly where he's sitting now and didn't speak directly to NI Water when they were here. So, but we would look forward to again reiterating our concerns around the infrastructure deficit in this and within this city and district. Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor, could I respond to that?
We'll respond first. We'll
direct issues
go
there.
to Councillor Donnelly, and then we'll come back to you to sum up.
Chair, this is a very serious issue, and the previous speaker, first of all, I'd like to thank Councillor Harkin for bringing it up and giving the opportunity to speak here today. We have passed all sorts of motions and positions in this council about rights of nature, climate change and the environment and that. And we've wrote loads and loads of letters. And if anybody just takes a glance through the responses to the letters that we write, the answers aren't that very positive or contain anything tangible. But the reality is that we could sit in here and try and score points. And while we do that, whilst we're fiddling about, Rome's burning, 260 million gallons of shite is getting pumped into that river, and it's strangling it, and it's killing it. And we can try and score points on here. There's no other way to put it. I apologise if if anybody, but that's the reality. That's what's in that river, and it's strangling it. And that river should be an asset to this city, and it's not in many ways, even regarding the infrastructure that goes around it. And it's all down to capitalism. It's down to greed. It's down to and it's not that there's nothing unique about the poisoning of that river. We look just around the rest of the country, and it's down to greed, and it's down to cutting corners. And Chair, I just wanted, there's an old Cree Indian proverb that says that only when the last tree has been cut down, the last fish been caught, and the last stream poisoned, that we will realise we can't eat money. And I think rather than be divisive in here, what we need to do is pull together and stop scoring political points and see how we can, efficiently tackle this huge problem, because we're all in the same boat. There's no point in somebody saying, I'm not bailing out because I don't like them or that. This is what we're going to leave their children or our grandchildren. And if we don't deal with it, it's going to get worse. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Councillor Tierney.
Thank you, Mayor, and thanks to Councillor Harkin for giving us an opportunity to speak about this again. I'm going to try to stay out of the political point scoring, but I don't think it's going to be the last time that someone tries to score political points today, given it's a week out from an election. I do remember this being raised previously. At that time, I'm going to be honest, we weren't satisfied with the response that we got from NI Water. And we have raised it with our MLA team here locally. And there have been a number of questions to the department along that line. But I agree with Councillor Donnelly. In relation to this, we need to work together to try and resolve it, get the answers that we're all satisfied with. And if there is something that this council can do to try and highlight the need for investment within our infrastructure, then we should be doing it. We have no issue whatsoever with the proposal from Councillor Harkin, and we're happy to support it. I genuinely hope that these meetings can happen sooner rather than later, because the longer that they take to get an action plan in place, the longer that this is dripping on the Ire River. And Councillor Donnelly, and I think a few have said it, the River Foyle should be an asset. We're going to see over the next coming days how we can use that river and the riverfront to our benefit. We can't allow it to be polluted and poisoned the way it is. We have to act. We have to get those with responsibility, with power and with the money to do whatever they can to support this city and district to stop that pollution. So we are up for the meetings. We have continued to raise this issue at different levels since we became aware of it. But if we're going to take an approach now where the council corporately, with support of the elected members, are going to seek meetings with the departments to try and push that on further, we're happy, more than happy, to be involved in that. And I think it's a welcome step. But when NI Water are coming back here, we need to make sure that we have a rock solid position around their responses, because I think Councillor Jackson said it when he was speaking, and I know from an SDLP perspective, we certainly weren't happy with the responses that we got at the committee, and we didn't really get a chance to raise them or to challenge any further on those. And I think if there's going to be a meeting set up, that's the perfect forum to be able to do that and to take that forward. So the SDLP are more than happy to support the proposal and more than happy to get involved in trying to clean up this mess. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Alderman Hussain.
Thank you, Mayor, and like others, welcome to your first full meeting and wish you well for the year ahead. As others have said, thanks to Councillor Harkin for raising the issue again has been said. It's one that constantly comes up in the chamber, and I think it's welcome that this report focuses in on the department and its responsibilities, particularly with regard to water treatment works. As we know, it's an issue that has arisen here, particularly in the Foyle. but it's an issue which occurs right across the entire Foyle Basin, from the Camoan, the Drumrah, the Derg, the Glenelly, whatever rivers feed into the Foyle Basin, and we have to take that on board. Now, I welcome that in the third paragraph, Councillor Harkin refers to the council area, but I wish to add a small addition to that, an amendment, which would read as follows. Now, I can bring it up to Jill, or if she can take it as I read it. In that section, it reads, in this council area. And after that, I would want to insert, throughout the entire area of the Foyle Basin, including all tributaries thereof.
You have a second for that?
And just while that's been put in there, to add that I think it's important to realise that the flow takes it all in to the estuary as such. So the entire system needs to be looked at, not just that section that was highlighted in the BT report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, and that has been seconded by Alderman Morris. Okay, Alderman Morris, I'll bring you in now.
Thank you, Mayor. And I also want to put in record my congratulations to you on your first full meeting, and we wish you well for the tenure of the year. Also, I just want to put on record the DUP support for not just the proposal, but the amendment as well. There's not much left to say. We have been discussing this as a group as well, you know, and we realise the asset of the river, like others have mentioned here today. I don't think it is properly utilised like you would see in other cities. And this is just devastating. We all know the effects of the pollution in the river. So we will put on a record our support as well. Thank you.
Okay, I'll bring you Councillor Harkin to sum up.
Thank you, Mayor. Look, I agree that the focus has to be on getting the Foyle River cleaned up, the River Foyle cleaned up. But look, election or no election, this should have been discussed today in the chamber. It would be shocking, and we would be shocking for people outside who are wondering what's going on. And I think it is somewhat maligning of the journalist to claim that this is an election stunt. And to be honest, if a journalist was using the fact that there's an election coming up to focus minds, well, he's doing his job, or they're doing their jobs. So I think that that's very unfair on a journalist who regularly writes and exposes stuff that's going on in Derry and across the Northwest. And I commend the journalists for doing this article for us. And yeah, I was part of the discussions with NI Water. They were coming in here to talk about the state of our waters following the report that was released that said that our waters, our rivers and lakes were not in good shape. But that NI Water and DFI constantly use this term when they're referring to the release of raw sewage, which is exceptional circumstances, heavy flood water. That's not what's going on here. What's happening here is the regular normalised release of raw sewage into the River Foyle. This is 1.2 tonnes just between the two bridges. We've got no idea of the reality right across the entirety of the River Foyle, and as Alderman Hussey said, the tributaries as well. So the scale of this is shocking. And I think any form of complacency, i.e. we have this in hand, we've already heard about it, we're following up, is not acceptable, because this is the River Foyle. Up the road a bit is the toxic Maboy dump that is still spreading its toxicity, and we've got Lough Neagh. So it's not electioneering to say Stormont has been completely asleep at the wheel when it's come to protecting our rivers, lakes, and now this is coming home, because I think that the people I've talked to who actually monitor this stuff are shocked that this is the scale of it. So, you know, people know that this is happening, but I think the scale of it is shocking, and I think that I think unfortunately it's going to be a lot worse than even what has already been revealed. So, you know, if there was no election, I would still be bringing this in. If someone else brought this in today, I would be completely backing them up and sharing the argument that this is an alarm for us. And I think that we need an urgent action plan. And I acknowledge that that's not going to be easy, but we can't be complacent about this while the algae returns to Loch Ness and while we have the situation that's ongoing with our boy.
Thank you. Okay, members, can I just check that both the amendment and the motion is acceptable? Yeah, so it's unanimous. Thank you very much.
My apologies. I didn't get a chance during the various congratulations to come in and add our congratulations to the members who have expanded the families, and indeed, as Councillor Donnelly has referred to, the sports achievements and others. But I would like to add to that congratulations to a former colleague of ours in this chamber, Alderman Mary Hamilton, on the award of her MBE in the King's Birthday Honours List, and indeed other residents throughout the area, including the chairman of Castlederg Royal British Legion on the award, Richard Black, on the award of his BEM. And I would add to that, not a resident of this district council area, but a police officer who served within this district council area, the King's Police Medal that has gone to DCI John Caldwell. I would like to include those in our congratulations. And indeed, in the past, Council has recognised by reception those who have been awarded via various Kings and Queens birthday honours lists, Christmas honours, New Year's, etc., and would suggest that that could be considered going forward. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Alderman Morris, you want to come back?
Yeah, just on that there, Mayor, thanks for letting me back in. Just I want to put it on record to our congratulations to Councillor Norris in becoming a granddad. Julie, who'll be here at the meeting, hopefully this afternoon. We've all already congratulated her, obviously. Do you know what I mean? But we want to put it on record our congratulations, and it's very admirable that she's actually come to work today. Her baby's only a week old. So, and just in regards to the King's Honours, for his birthday honours, we would also like to put on record our congratulations to every recipient of that award, especially our former colleague, Alderman Mary Hamilton. And I'd like to propose that maybe that we would write out to all of the people that received awards within our council area and just congratulate them on behalf of the council. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, members. And that concludes chairperson's business. So,
Mayor. Apologies, I had contacted your office on Monday evening about an items of chair's business. Just
I never received it.
went on Monday at just shortly after 9.
Okay, just go ahead, but I never received it.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I will be very brief, but it's just in relation to the opening of the new Gaelscoil Idahardy in Strabane. And it's been a long time in the making for the school and a lot of hard work on behalf of school governors, parents and pupils alike as well over the last number of weeks, trying to get everything boxed up to move to their new site. But I just want, Mayor, if we could write out to the school, they were an occupier of a piece of land in the Ballycoman estate for quite a number of years, and now they've vacated that site to move to their new site in the Strahans Road. And I think it's just fitting that we write to them to wish them all the very best as they vacate that site and make their way to their new school building. Thanks, Mayor.
Councillor Hart.
Thank you, Mayor, and all the best for the year ahead. As someone that's been involved in the Gaelscoil Idahardy from the very beginning, I have 2 children went through the school. and they were, my eldest was one of the first pupils. We started off with 3 pupils, and then I went to 14 with 1 teacher. We didn't have any funding, so for 2 years we had to raise funds, go around the doors. And I'd like to pay a particular mention to the late Martin McGuinness as the Education Minister, who was responsible for changing the criteria in the Gael School to enable EA funding. So that saved me selling tickets at the doors, but it was a long journey. I'm 26 years on the Board of Governors of the Gael School Authority. We moved into our new £5 million school last week. Some of us carried the boxes. My back's still a bit sore from that. But I just want to wish the new school all the best, and the staff, and for all those that contribute throughout the years and getting us over the line. And also, anyone interested, there's an open night tonight between 6 and 7. So thank you.
Okay, moving on now, we'll go to agenda item 6, confirmation of the open minutes of the meeting of the Derry City and Strabane District Council held on Wednesday, 29th May 2024, pages 7 to 28. Any matters arising? No, accurate? Okay.
Mayor, I'm sleeping a wee bit there. I'm hoping on C237/24 regarding the pier jump. I'm on the right place, yeah. It's just that on behalf of the Edgar family, I just like they pass on that they raised over £10,000 for various charities throughout the city in that fundraising event. So it was a very worthwhile day, not only for the much needed funds that was raised, but for solidarity with and between families of those who have taken their own life. So just like to share that information with council. Thank you.
Can I first ask for a proposal, please, and a second? Proposed? Okay.
Just want to come back in on the back of Councillor Donnelly there. I have been talking to the Edgar family over the course of the weekend as well. And in terms of the work that they have been doing to raise awareness and raise money for suicide prevention has been absolutely amazing. And I just want to pay particular tribute to Tony Edgar, the father of Jack Edgar, who is currently in training now to run from here to Dublin and back. Again, to raise awareness, and he's going to be attending the Ireland match and hoping for a minute's silence for everybody who's been affected by suicide. So I think the Edgar family have been absolutely, truly tremendous in all the work that they have been doing over the course of the last year to raise awareness of suicide and mental health in our communities. Thank you.
Seconding the minutes as well.
Okay. Councillor Duffy, are you also seconding the minutes? Oh, perfect. Councillor Hart? Oh, she wasn't here. So, okay. Councillor Logue.
C231/24, page 10. I was looking to see if there was any updates from DFI on the provision of life rings on the bridges in Strabane. And could we maybe get an update into one of the committees? Possibly environment and regeneration. Thank you.
Mayor, I'm not aware of any response, but we can bring a report back into TNR and update members.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Agenda item.
Sorry, Mayor, could I just come in on C241/24 Foil Cup? I just want to comment in terms of the month ahead. We do have the Foil Maritime Festival starting over the course of tomorrow, and it just in terms of the amazing work that has gone on by council officers to get the quay ready and to get the city looking absolutely fantastic for the Foil Maritime Festival. It's going to bring in absolutely thousands of visitors to our city, hopefully be a lift for all our businesses within the city centre as well, and for the general dairy public who will be out supporting it in huge numbers, I have no doubt. And I just want to wish well to the Foyle Cup as well over the coming weeks in terms of all the work that they have been doing and bringing so many people, families into the city to enjoy the Foyle Cup, which is absolutely growing in strength every year. So again, congratulations to Mickey and all the team there. Thank you.
Thank you, and I can second that. I was out today at the quay and it is looking beautiful, and I can't wait to get involved with all the activities from tomorrow. Councillor Alderman Hussain.
Thank you, Mayor. 26224, the motion from Councillor McHugh, seconded by myself, regarded participation and awareness of the community toilet scheme in Castlederrig. I understand, obviously, participation, and will take a wee bit of time to identify additional premises that may undertake on that. But with regard to awareness, has there been any progress made to ensuring that signage, etc., is in situ to alert people as to where the community toilet scheme in Castlederrig actually operates? Thank you.
Through yourself, Mayor, there's a follow-up report coming on the Health Community Committee, Alderman Hussain, around all of that.
Thank you, Mayor.
Any other matters arising? Okay, moving on. Item 8, confirmation of the open minutes of the reconvened meeting of the Derry City and Strabane District Council held on Thursday, 30th May 2024, pages 29 to 44 for accuracy. 1 second. Thank you. Any matters arising? No, okay. Agenda item 10, confirmation of the open minutes of the annual meeting of the Derry City and Strabane District Council held on Monday, 3rd June 2024, pages 45 to 62 for accuracy. Seconded by, thank you. Any matters arising? Alderman Hussain.
Thank you, Mayor. During that meeting, members will recall that I raised the issue of members being appointed on to bodies which didn't seem to meet or weren't notifying members of their meetings. Has there been any progress made with regard to that issue? Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor, through you, there will be a further paper coming into governance and strategic planning in relation to that, although that's unlikely to be until after the summer recess.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor.
Any other matters arising? Okay, moving on to agenda item 11, confirmation of the open minutes of the special meeting of Derry City and Strabane District Council held on Monday, 10th June 2024, pages 63 to 76 for accuracy. Rose, Jenny, Alderman Morris. Any matters arising? No, okay. Moving on to agenda item 12, adoption of the open minutes of the following committees. Monthly Governance and Strategic Planning Committee held on Tuesday, 4th June 2024, pages 77 to 90 for accuracy. Alderman Cooks and Leonard. Okay. Yeah. Any matters arising? Okay.
Mayor, through you, GSP 124 of 24, which was dealing with the future meetings of GNSP members. Because of the election, it is proposed that the July meeting of GNSP will be moved to the 15th of July. So it'll be Monday, the 15th of July, members, if that's in order.
Okay. Second? Okay, again. Okay. Okay, monthly planning committee. And sorry, did you want to come out? Did you want to come in? Do you want to use your mic, please?
Sorry, it's just the GNS is the second, the election isn't to the 4th.
Do you want to make a proposal to change it, or are you happy with?
Well, I'm just making.
Or you're just making a comment?
Comment, yeah.
Okay, noted. Thank you. Okay, monthly planning committee held on Wednesday, 5th June 2024, pages 91 to 102 for accuracy. John Boyle. Second. Okay, Fleming, thank you. Matters arising? Councillor Leonard.
It could be the same thing as yourself, it's just confirming the date for the next planning committee.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Through you, yes, members, you'll see it P113/24. It was proposed that the Planning Committee would move to the 8th of July with a follow-up meeting on the 15th of July was the proposal. The proposal now, members, would be that the Planning Committee again still sits on the 8th of July, but in the event that a second day is required, that the Planning Committee would reconvene at 2 p.m. on the 9th of July, so the next day, and hopefully get its business finished then before 4 p.m. When the next committee would start.
Okay. Okay, moving on, adoption of the monthly Business and Culture Committee held on Tuesday, 11th of June, 2024, pages 103 to 112 for accuracy. Okay, Alderman Cook and Councillor Farrow. All right, okay. Okay, matters arising? No. Okay, moving on. Monthly Environmental and Regeneration Committee held on Wednesday, 12th June 2024, pages 113 to 120 for accuracy. Hold a second, okay. Any matters arising? No? Okay, thank you. Monthly Health and Community Committee meeting held on Thursday, 13th June 2024, pages 121 to 144 for accuracy. The second. Okay. Any matters arising? Okay, I'll start with. Yep, go ahead.
Thank you. Mayor, for minutes, just regarding HC 140/24 regarding Nardy Garvin plant that I raised under chairperson's business. And it's just to say that residents have been in touch again regarding the unpleasant smell, especially over the good weather over the last couple of weeks, and just that the proposal that was proposed and seconded during that, could that be done as soon as possible, that meeting set up at the earliest convenience, to see if we can get to the bottom of this issue for the residents of Nardy Garvin. Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Harkin.
Thank you, Mayor. It's HC 141/24, and it's the visit of Joe Kennedy III. And I've sent through a proposal to committee, if that can be put up on the screen. I raised this at that meeting, and I wasn't able to bring forward a proposal. So as people know that, sorry. All right.
Okay, we will allow that. Can I have a seconder? Okay. Do you want to speak on it?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Thank you for accepting that, and thank you to Councillor Barr for seconding the proposal. Look, as people know, the McGee Task Force invited Joe Kennedy III, representative of the Biden administration, to come to a meeting at McGee several weeks ago. The special envoy didn't end up attending the meeting, and I think that that was a good thing. I think that it was very inappropriate for the McGee Task Force to invite the special envoy as a representative for Biden, and I'll explain why. It's very, very simple. This was a meeting to talk about the expansion of further education in Derry, a meeting to talk about increase in student numbers here in Derry and the Northwest, and Joe Kennedy's administration, which he is a high-profile representative of, is involved right now in killing thousands of students in Gaza. They have blown up, American bombs have been used by the Israeli regime to blow up every university in Gaza, every school in Gaza. They have not only killed students, they have killed future students, and they have also killed the faculty of many of the institutions of education right across Gaza. I think it's entirely inappropriate on that basis that we would invite somebody who is complicit in that, not just indirectly, but directly complicit in it, because Kennedy himself is not a neutral in this. He very much supports what the US government is doing. He has moved forward legislation in the United States to ban boycott, divestment and sanctions against the Israeli state, which is something our council has embraced and supports. So I think it was sending the wrong message. And there's an additional thing to it, which is that he was invited at the very time when the Biden administration was sending out police right across the United States to beat up students, to arrest them, to imprison them, and to get them expelled and suspended from their universities. So I don't see why it would be appropriate to invite such a representative to Derry, given the strength of feeling in this city about what's happening in Gaza, given the strength of feeling from our council about what's happening in Gaza. And I'm glad that the meeting went ahead. It disappointed me that Ulster University officials kind of did a dance around this issue and ended up meeting with them independently of the task force. I think that they're, once again, it shows to me that some of the Ulster University officials maybe don't understand what people think in Derry and right across Ireland. So on that basis, I think we should be sending a message to the task force chair that it was inappropriate. And it's also the case, look, that we were represented at the meeting. Our CEO was sent there, and he did say he wasn't given any direction, and I do agree that he wasn't given any direction about going to this meeting. I don't think that it would be appropriate for our council to be meeting with an administration that is the main funder of a genocide and who has relentlessly provided bombs, ammunition, political cover to the murder of now 40,000 people in Gaza, 100,000 injured, millions displaced, and that could set off a regional war. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Donnelly, did you want to speak on it? Seconding? Okay. Councillor Jackson?
Mayor, and on behalf of Sinn Féin, we're supportive of the proposal. The expansion of university is key to the city and district, and we have every confidence in the task force. They map out a way forward. They deliver the expansion that we're all striving towards, and we've been striving towards for far too long. What's happening in Gaza and the links between Joe Kennedy and the genocide that's taking place in Gaza can't be ignored. And we have to be frank here. there's conversations that are rightly taking place right across the world, where people are putting pressure on different administrations, particularly the American administration, they end its support of the genocide in Gaza, and hopefully that level, that all that pressure is having an effect. We've all got a responsibility to be a voice for peace, be a voice for the people that don't have, that are being silenced in Gaza on a daily basis. But the visit, the invitation to Joe Kennedy, from our perspective, in this occasion, was inappropriate. I think it was misinformed, and it's only right that we as a council raise our concerns with the chair. We have every confidence, we remain to have confidence in the task force, but any steps that the task force take that has got the potential to undermine public confidence, it's important that they're made aware of that, and they're made aware of the strength of feeling of the people of the city and district. So on that basis, we're content to support the motion that's in front of us. Thanks, Chair.
Alderman Morris.
Thank you, Mayor, for letting me in. And just in regards to the proposal in front of us, I'd just like to put on record that the DUP team supports any advancement for McGee, and you know, we are very supportive of that. But however, we won't be supporting this motion. Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Tierney.
Thank you, Mayor, for bringing me in. The SDLP are happy to support the proposal. I'm pretty sure that at this stage that Stephen Kelly is aware that it was inappropriate to send that invitation. But if council wish to write them, we're not going to block that. I think it's important, and I've said it on here, I don't know how many times, that we use whatever tool and whatever influence we can to try and bring about peace in the Middle East. And if that means that we reject the invitation to Joe Kennedy by the task force and make them aware of that, then we should. We have been consistent in that from October 7th, and we'll continue to do that. The most important thing that we can do, in my view, around what's going on in Gaza and across the Middle East is to call for peace and make sure that we're using whatever influence we can. So if this is another tool in that process, then we're happy to do it. We are supportive of the task force. We would like to see its findings published as soon as possible and see how we are going to expand our university. We all know what that can do. But I think we have to, as a council, we have to be behind them and offering them whatever support we can. But I think we also have a responsibility to call out whenever we see the task force doing something which we don't think is great for this city or has the support of the people of the city and district. I am listening very keenly to the debate and what's going on. I've heard the word inappropriate and misinformed when talking about the task force sending an invitation to Joe Kennedy III to attend a meeting in McGee by Sinn Féin. I wonder, was it inappropriate and misinformed to accept an invitation to attend Tush with Joe Biden? Or has that position changed? I think it's speaking out of both sides of their mouth, and people have already talked about election stunts, and maybe that's what we're seeing here. What we need to do is make sure that we're being consistent as a council, and that has to be at the forefront of everything that we're doing. So we're content to support the proposal before us, that we write to the task force and make them aware of this council's concerns around that particular invitation. But I hope everybody reflects on invitations that have been sent and accepted and takes notice of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Donnelly.
Chair. No, I'm glad from what I'm hearing here today. I think it's important that that the university is made aware of the depth of feeling and how we feel towards a particular representative of a government that is probably the biggest global threat the world peace at the minute. This, you know, there's not a day goes past that we don't see evidence, whether it's white phosphorus in Lebanon, whether it's threats being issued to the International Criminal Court because they don't like their thinking on challenging the Israeli regime, but then the hypocrisy of welcoming the International Court's position on the conflict in Ukraine. So I think it is very important that there's a strong message comes from this council, and just happy they support the proposal here. We just need to look at the media coverage last night of Julian Assange and some of the stuff that he was exposing, the deliberate murder and killing of journalists. So happy to support the motion. Thank you.
Councillor Cusack.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to put on record my support for the motion also. I have absolutely every faith in Stephen Kelly and where he wants to go with the task force, and I know he's only the best at heart for the expansion of McGee and how we can develop and make that grow. I'll be brief. I think he also, I'm sure, as Councillor Tierney has said, is more than acutely aware of this error, and we need to be more sensitive, and they need to be more sensitive to the political arena that we're working within and the times we're working within, and especially the sensitivities regarding Palestine, because there's that saying, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, members, there are differing opinions here, so with a show of hands, anyone who is voting against the motion? Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have 4 voting against. Can we see by a show of hands those who are voting for the motion? Any abstentions? Okay, so we have 27 for and 4 against, so the motion passed. Thank you, members. Moving on, adoption of the bi-monthly assurance audit and risk committee held on Monday, 17th June 2024. What's the pages? And for accuracy? The pages.
Seconder.
You have a seconder? Okay. Dini? Dini. Yeah, Dini. Okay, any matters arising? No? Okay. So do we go for confidential? Yeah. Can I get a proposer and seconder for going to confidential, please? Yeah. John Boyle and Alderman Cook.
Give them a